Welcome to the podcast, which is all about the world of direct response. Are we on the air? I'm your host, Sean Wilsey, and for over 30 years I have hosted shows on cable shopping networks, and now I want to be your guide into this look at the ever-changing nature of DRTV. Astute listeners will notice a slight change in the verbiage there, as opposed to being in the past tense, as it was when we wrapped up last season. I hosted shows. It is back to the present. What is the correct term? I guess it's just present tense. I've hosted. I have. It's present indicative or whatever. I don't know. Because I am back in the industry. I am back at my network I was at, Shop LC. And so took a year and a half away from that, but back at it. And more importantly for us here, back doing this again, which I love so much. And I have been waiting since last June to play the audio that we're going to play for you today, because this is audio I've been saving because it's holiday related, it's Christmas related. And we're going to go back to about 1988 and 1989 with examples of what not to do. Because as this industry changes, and I'm going to try not to dwell as much on the negative and what's going on these days, but go back to our core focus, what makes the industry work or not work, and we have an example of what makes the industry not work on this show today. Because this was an attempt back in the late 80s. We have to go back in time a little bit here. This is when TV shopping was taking off. You had CVN, Cable Value Network, still is the number one network, Home Shopping Network number 2, QVC number 3, but there were all these small networks. There was Telshop, there was Shop at Home, there was CDN, Consumer Discount Network, Sky Merchant was still on the air. And a host of local ones. I would have to get my book out, and I'm not going to dig that out right now, but a lot of books, a lot of networks were up and running, and this is where also you had people saying, hey, there's a lot of money to be made, we can do this. Oh, it's easy. Oh, this is simple. We can do this. We got this. If they can do it, we can do it. And so you had companies doing 1 hour blocks or half-hour blocks. Dayton Hudson Corporation was doing an hour every night, which failed miserably. But of all places, the Playboy Channel decided that, you know what, there's a place for home shopping on our channel. Now, let me. This is going to be the first show where I don't want to say we walk a fine line, but there's just a couple points here where, I don't know, I guess if you have a young person in the car and this is playing through the speakers, I don't think anything is necessarily terrible here. I'm not going to get rude or crude or anything, but it's just you're aware you might want to have your finger on the skip button at a couple points here. You know what I'm always also wondering? What the hell am I going to put up? Anytime I do a show, I post on social media a little, like a 4-part picture. It'll have the show logo, it'll have maybe my picture or something else, and then kind of just a couple pictures that relate to what the topic is. I have no idea what I'm putting up. I'm not putting up a Playboy logo. That's going to give the wrong impression what this podcast is about. I don't want people tuning in for the wrong reason. So I got to think about this. But anyway, Playboy Channel was a cable network, and this is back in the 30-channel universe, that was on only at night. And it wasn't necessarily what we would call X-rated by today's standards. It was risque, and it was a pay network. You had to pay to subscribe to it. And they had what, frankly, by today's standards are almost innocuous enough shows. Heck, I just listened to Elon Musk get interviewed on CNBC the other night, and he was dropping the F word, and they didn't even attempt to censor it. And that was at 5 p.m. So, I think by today's standards, some of what they did was not that big a deal, but this was the late 80s. They had a game show where the contestants missed a question, they would take a piece of clothing off. Alan Funt did a version of Candid Camera, where maybe someone would pull into a gas station and the woman to fill a full service station to fill the gas tank was topless or something. It wasn't anything really more than that. But as a magazine, it was still a major empire. I'm not even sure. I think they declared bankruptcy some years ago. I didn't do that research. But they thought we can do a television shopping show. So they got a guy and a woman to sit, and there's nothing risque that they were selling at all. Shop HQ back 6 years ago, did a far more, and did it very tastefully, frankly. It's a topic I've wanted to address, but that we would have to dance around a lot. Far more risque show at midnight selling adult products, and we'll leave it at that. This was simply Playboy Channel saying, hey, we can sell a piece of clothing and a watch and a stereo and, make some money. And obviously a Playboy subscription. So the show begins with a man and a woman introducing. Now, I do not know who the woman is. The man is a Canadian gentleman by the name of Blake Emmons. He hosted the game show Chain Reaction for a hot second in the 80s. Chain Reaction is one of those game shows that has come and gone every few years for about 30 years now. And he had his turn when they were producing it in Canada, aired in the States on USA Network, and he did it, like I said, for a hot second, and this was shortly after I think he would have been done with that. So the show begins with an introduction of, my gosh, just a logical gift to give. No, it's not the watch. We'll get to that. It's not the stereo. We'll get to that. It's a subscription to Playboy. Now, the audio is a little weird at first, but it will settle momentarily. Let me make sure I have this set up. I haven't done this in so long. I hope I have this set up right.
There's more to offer, and for less than ever before. $24 for a full year subscription, which is a great deal. But that's not all. To celebrate the holidays, Playboy...
Classic line. That's not all. But wait, there's more. And we have a whole show on that topic coming up. Now, of course, I have to back it up a couple seconds.
It's a great deal. But that's not all. To celebrate the holidays, Playboy is offering even more. So buy your first subscription at $24 price and then get as many additional subscriptions as you want for only $22 each. That's right, $22 for a full year of Playboy. The more you buy, the more you save. So why not pick one up for everyone on your holiday shopping list? And what happens...
Okay, I have a lot of reasons why I wouldn't pick one up for everyone on my shopping list. Where do I begin, Blake? A lot of reasons why I'm not giving Playboy as a gift this holiday season. Oh, boy. Wouldn't that be awkward? I mean, again, let's just go back to 1988 when I think this was produced. I still wouldn't give a subscription to Playboy to anyone as a gift. That just, no. That would be so inappropriate on every level. Would a wife give it to her husband? No. Would a guy give it to his best friend? No. That's just awkward. But anyway, there's more.
They send this card out, and this card goes out, and they open the card, and there's what it says. I can't read what it says, so I'll go like this. It says, warm holiday wishes for a festive season and a gift subscription to Playboy from, and they sign your name. Not a bad idea.
I nerve of them.
From Creepy Guy
Look,
is
I was inspired.
Who that's from. Oh, okay. So, obviously they think they're probably going to sell some subscription. I still can't get over that. Give Playboy as a gift. Let's go back and give cigarettes as a gift. In fact, let's do that.
Friends, here's a wonderful Christmas gift for anyone who smokes, because it says, Merry Christmas and Happy Smoking 200 times.
Okay, here's the question of the day. Would you rather give, I have a very dry sense of humor if you haven't figured that out yet, a carton of cigarettes as a gift or a subscription to Playboy as a gift? That's your debate for the day over the dinner table. So anyway, after they've chatted about this for a moment, they get into selling product. They have a contest. They introduced their little contest, but it's time to start selling. Their first item is a timepiece, a watch. Let's see how well they do with this.
A long way on this show.
Oh,
It really would.
Picard. Lucien Picard, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Lucien Picard, ladies or women's watch.
Yes, definitely. Gold tone watch. Look, it's a beautiful watch. It's champagne dial with a square face. That poor little reindeer's been carting the watches around for the last week.
The watch is wrapped around a little stuffed reindeer, so that's his attempted humor.
Say, whoa, Santa, get me out of here. Let's go for a ride. It's got the integral case and adjustable rope mesh design bracelet. And it's from the Dufont collection, as I mentioned. And, of course, it's a marvel of elegance and precision beauty because it's...
A marvel.
Oh, definitely. Well, you know, when you've got the quartz watches, they're definitely a marvel. It's neat how they work. Those things vibrate. Yeah.
Yeah, it picks up some sort of vibration, and it's like a real skinny layer of quartz.
Quartz hum at the same speed. Yeah, that sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Well, no, that's what they use at radio stations to keep the frequency constant.
That was my first job on television. I used to come on in the morning and go, ooh. Anyway, it's yours for...
He's being so funny. See, he was pretending that he was the little tone that you hear under the color bars. That's hilarious. By the way, props to him, though, for knowing about quartz and that it does. It vibrates the battery, you know, gets things... Anyway, I'm not going to go into it all now, but that's about as smart as this show's going to get right there, because it's all downhill from here.
$39.99 on this wonderful, glorious day that is coming closer to Christmas even as I speak. It's P-Watt, PWAT 12. P-Watt 12 for $49.99 for your lady. There's our phone number, 1-800-342-4236, and you save $149.96, and you save the hassle, the turmoil, the absolute
mental agony.
I'm just going to bring the audio down, because bad, boring audio is bad, boring audio. Even I can't make this entertaining. That's it for learning about the product. That's it. They're done. They're still showing the watch, but he's just babbling.
Well, risking life and limb for someone you love is neat, but why not just risk a digit and just dial your phone?
Risk a digit.
Sure.
Risk a digit. That's hilarious.
Call us at 1-800.
Oh, they didn't. Oh, I did not catch that when I was prepping this. They gave him a rim shot.
4236 $49.99 for PWAT 12. And once again, it's one of those watches where you can wear it to a class thing and put it away and wear a sporty watch, which we also have available on the show.
You can buy all the watches. You want watches? We got watches.
That's it. I mean, that's honestly, that's it. That's all you're going to learn about the watch. So in the how to wrap this up and put a bow on it, so to speak, don't do that. Tell them about the watch. What size is it? What is it made of? Is it stainless steel? Is it gold plated? Is it gold tone? Is there, there's a long list of things. I'm not even going to go into it about a timepiece that you could share, and they did none of it. Now, I would like to say, well, this is happened in the past. That's it. All the hosts now are educated. They know how to sell products by giving information, and unfortunately, that's not necessarily the case. So history does repeat itself. So we move from that. Now Blake is going to present what we used to call a boom box. It's a little portable stereo. Speakers come off of it, AM/FM cassette. I honestly want this. I used to have one almost exactly like this. I would love to have this again.
Company that made this.
They're wrapping up a shirt presentation right here.
And it's also available in a red and white opposing pattern or blue, as you saw. So be sure to tell the operator which color you want.
Get to the stereo.
Notate that and get it on your way to you. Now, Blake is over there notating something at the demo area. Blake, are you ready?
I'm notating my little heart out here. We finally have got a portable here. And there you can see it already in your set. Don't put the price up yet. I'm just a little direction to our director because the people at home aren't...
Honestly, that might be one of the smart things that he does, because there is the suspense of building what's the price going to be, which is an old school trick that is being revisited again very successfully at a couple of networks, and again, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Not going to believe this. This is the UNICEF AM/FM stereo cassette.
And by the way, I thought he mispronounced this when he said UNICEF, but no, that is the brand. I have never heard of this brand in my life. I'm an electronics guru. Never heard of this brand. I've heard of the charity. Do not confuse it with the charity. But it apparently is or was an electronics brand in the late 80s.
With detachable speakers. I just heard someone snap, so that must mean I'm on, so don't look like a bozo. And now I open this, and there's a detachable speaker.
Took a speaker off.
Just wanted to show you. The other one on the other side comes off, but I can't reach over that far, so I can't do that. But it's a detachable speakers, and I am recommending this for the kids. There's another shot of it. It has the stereo cassette, and let me see, I have to push eject. One of these will eject it. I almost pushed it on.
He's literally hitting every button under the cassette to try and get it to eject. This is well-prepped product. And again, I hate to say it, but the same thing happens today on cable shopping networks.
No, I didn't.
Read it.
We have the batteries in it and everything like that. Let me see which one it is that opens it up. Oh, my goodness, Blake, there it is. It's slow eject. It was very slow for you today. There's the price. It's only $49. Now, you see them in the stores, or you don't see them in the stores because they're out of them in the stores. It's $129.95 is what you probably could pay, or you could get beat and pay about $150 or something like that. You'll save $80.95. This is one of those things that, Grandma, you might want to think about sending out to the kids, and you don't have the hassle of you packaging or mailing or sending or shipping. Everything that is shipped by us is shipped by UPS, and you can ship it out to someone else that you love, or the kids that you love, and you know, Mom and Dad don't always want to buy their kids the AM/FM stereo. And this is your chance to get back at you.
Especially in the year 2023 when the kids don't want an AM/FM stereo. But again, he's wrapping up the presentation. We don't know anything about the power, the wattage. How does it work? There's dials on this. I'd like to know what some of these dials are for. Is there might have been a bass treble control. Might have been a balance control on this. But what do we know?
Or your daughter, and buy them one of these so they can turn it up and drive mom and dad crazy. Or in some cases, just a short putt. It's 1-800-342.
What? I did not understand that last joke. Drive them crazy. Oh, putt. Oh, instead of drive, a putt. Oh, God.
4236. You'll save $80.95. I'm recommending this for grandmas and grandpas to send to their grandchildren. Like I said, it's inexpensive. It's very lightweight. The detachable speakers. It's got tone control.
Oh, there we go.
FM stereo indicator on it. Auto stop. It's got pause control. All of those neat little features. And it's something that you can start the. Let's make it the first video set, or I'm sorry, not video set. Little stereo set. I see what's. There's that turkey again. He did it. There he is again. If I get another shot at him, let me try him. Throw something at him. There, got him. Okay. Let's see. The UNSF AM.
All right. Okay. I think we've about beat this into the. Let's go back to the cigarette commercial.
Yes, 10 packs of those better-tasting Luckies, all done up for Christmas in a beautiful carton, created just for Lucky Strike by the famous designer, Mr. Raymond Loewy.
See what I'm doing? I think I'm finding my excuse to put the Lucky Strike logo into my little promotional picture because that's probably going to get a better listener than the Playboy logo. And nobody's going to know who Blake Emmons is, so I suppose I can put a picture of him up. But this goes on for a painful half hour of here's a product, we'll tell you nothing about it, and then babble. But this was the early days of the TV shopping industry. The networks were somewhat established. Because a lot of those networks I listed earlier, they would wind up going away or being bought out. Home Shopping Network bought a couple of them. I know they bought Sky Merchant, and I think they might have bought CDN or CDM. Sky Merchant, I don't remember. But and so you had places like Playboy Channel and retailers thinking, hey, we can do a TV shopping show and we'll make some money. Well, this I don't think ever went any further. I had never seen this, and I was one of those. It was constantly on the lookout for TV shopping shows. Although we did it for the Playboy Channel now that I think about it, so that would make sense. But this, I had never read this even surfaced or that this existed until someone, and I'll post a link to it so you can see this because it's video that's already on YouTube, and so I'm not going to repost somebody else's content. But that is the Playboy Holiday Shopping Show, again, 1988, Blake Emmons and Acknowledged woman as the hosts of that. So before we put the top on this one, I do just want to go back and mention once again what I started to talk about at the top, and that is I am back in the industry. February of 2022, Shop LC and I went our separate ways, and it probably the last year and a half was very good for me for a number of different reasons. And I am so happy to be back, though, doing it for a living. I realized that I have a passion for this industry that I think I kind of knew was there, but I didn't know how strong that passion was. And so it is fantastic to be back and doing it again. And I thank everyone for all of their support over the past year and a half and for all that have said, hey, where'd Wilsey go? We want him back. Where is he? Can you get him back? Can you get him back? And so we came to an agreement, and I am back, and loving it more than ever. So thank you to everyone for all of their support. And the podcast is back, maybe not as often as it once was. And literally thousands of people have been downloading the past shows over the past, 6 months since I did one. So thank you to all of you for your continued support as well on the podcast. More updates as to the industry and the status of that on a future show, but I think we've done enough for one. Please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss a show. Plus, you can listen to the archive of past shows. I hope you check me out on Twitter, Facebook. Oh, I got to update that. On X, Facebook, and YouTube at Sean Wilsey, and on Instagram at SWilsey. Thank you for downloading this edition of Are We On The Air? I'm also on that new one. What's the new app called? I keep forgetting. The Instagram spinoff that Zuckerberg started that two people are on. Threads or whatever it is. But you're not going to follow me there. Nobody does. This has been a King Bobby production.
Yes, I know, Travis. That's why we give such bargains.